Everything that is explained in this video is summarized from CoinMarketCap. And also, please don't forget to support my channel for more XRP updates and some other cryptocurrencies as a whole. Now take a look at this. Ripple Stuart Alderoty hints at SEC claims during XRP settlement conference. As stated in a court filing dated March 29, Ripple Labs and the United States Securities and Exchange Commission held a settlement conference to explore concerns and narrow down the disputes that they were involved in. Despite assertions that the Deo Hack report brought a great deal of clarification to the cryptocurrency industry, Ripple's chief legal officer, Stuart Alderoty, later blogged on X about the lack of transparency supplied by the United States Securities and Exchange Commission. Quote to Ripple regarding the CC's unsubstantiated claim, Stuart Alderoty, even after 7 years have passed since the publication of the Deo study, the chief legal officer of Ripple, Stuart Alderoty, has not been able to bring clarification to the cryptocurrency sector. As far as the SEC is concerned, the Deo report has brought a great deal of clarity to the cryptocurrency community about regulatory and operational matters. According to him, however, something's broken because the Securities and Exchange Commission still is litigating 8 key cryptocurrency cases in federal courts. Even though there is no sign of a resolution to the conflicts, the court proceedings continue to become increasingly convoluted. The tweet was made following a settlement meeting that took place on March 29 between Ripple Labs and the United States Securities and Exchange Commission. Brad Garlinghouse, CEO of Ripple, and Stuart Alderoty, chief legal officer of the company, were reportedly seen in Manhattan, New York City, respectively. Ripple and the SEC enter into settlement talks. Eleanor Terrett, a writer for Fox Business, stated that the settlement conference could very well be the meeting that is originally planned to take place in April before the pretrial proceedings. Before trial, the settlement conference is a meeting between two parties who are at odds with one another in a lawsuit. The purpose of this meeting is to examine concerns and find a mutual resolution to disagreements or to narrow down ongoing disputes. Before the final pretrial meeting on April 16, Judge Annalisa Torres requested that the heads of both parties' legal teams, as well as those of Ripple and the SEC, consider the possibility of settling. In the meantime, the Securities and Exchange Commission is attempting to obtain a final judgment against Ripple. Disgorgement and prejudgment interest, as well as civil fines totaling over $2 billion are included in this. Permanent injunctions are also included. In response, Ripple's CEO Brad Garlinghouse and Chief Legal Officer Stuart Alderoty criticized the Securities and Exchange Commission. XRP stated that they would expose the regulator in a file that made on April 22. Whale information can be found here. Whales moved 244 million XRP while price regains momentum. What's next? Inquiries regarding the secondary sales of XRP. A commotion was caused in the community and among attorneys as a result of Judge Fala's finding on the classification of secondary market sales as investment contracts in the Coinbase versus US SEC dispute, the most significant setback for Coinbase and Ripple. According to John Reed Stark, a former member of the Securities and Exchange Commission, was the fact that Judge Philly fully disregarded Judge Torres' reasoning in the Ripple ruling, which stated that secondary transactions cannot be considered investment contracts because the buyer does not know who they are purchasing from. Judge Torres stated that the issue of secondary sales was not properly before the court, said Bill Morgan, an attorney who supports XRP to alleviate the worries of the XRP community over secondary sales. Because programmatic sales were one of the 3 categories that were contested by the SEC, the court did not address secondary sales of XRP and instead focused only on programmatic sales. Amidst the continuing lawsuit surrounding XRP, the cryptocurrency community is rife with speculation regarding the possibility of a settlement meeting between Ripple Labs and the United States Securities and Exchange Commission. It was stated that Ripple CEO Brad Garlinghouse and Chief Legal Officer Stuart Alderoty were seen in New York, which fueled speculations of settlement discussions. This led to the idea gaining steam. Are we going to have a settlement conference or not? Boba Fett, a member of the XRP, claimed that he had seen Garlinghouse and Alderoty outside of a federal courthouse in New York. This led to a discussion regarding the possibility of Ripple and the SEC engaging in a settlement agreement. In her post on X, Eleanor Terrett, a writer for Fox Business and a cryptophile, said that there would be a settlement conference on March 29 in the case of Ripple versus. Sec Terrett presented a document that indicated that the next hearing for a final pretrial conference is scheduled to take place on April 16, 2024. This information was supported by evidence. The agreement, on the other hand, referred to the prospect of a prior meeting between the parties to discuss the likelihood of a settlement, but it did not disclose a particular date. The SEC's position and Ripple's reaction to it, a fine of $2 billion has been levied against Ripple for suspected violations of securities rules. In the meantime, the Securities and Exchange Commission, she is working hard to get a final verdict in the XRP lawsuit. Ripple's chief legal officer, Stuart Alderoty, issued a response in which he attacked the SEC's unjust demand, pointing out contradictions and claiming that the regulatory agency had made misleading claims. Alderoty has stated that he is prepared to provide a response on behalf of Ripple in April. This response will indicate Ripple's intention to contest the claims made by the SEC. Against this context, the proposed settlement meeting adds a new layer of uncertainty to the current legal dispute between Ripple and the SEC over XRP. This battle is about XRP. XRP is already being met with anger from the community due to its lackluster performance. Would a settlement be possible with a $2 million slap? Finding a middle ground that is acceptable to all parties is not an easy task. A settlement meeting and the presence of Ripple's top executives in New York both point to the possibility of negotiations between the business and the Securities and Exchange Commission. The XRP litigation and Ripple's future could be substantially altered if a resolution is reached over the matter. As this high-stakes legal battle continues, the cryptocurrency community continues to be on edge, waiting for additional developments there. A pretrial meeting is scheduled to take place in April, and Ripple and the SEC are currently looking for a common ground. If they are unable to reach a consensus, the lawsuit will move forward to trial, which will prolong the ambiguity around the regulatory status of XRP. The ongoing lawsuit about XRP has given rise to persistent rumors that Ripple Labs Inc. may be convening a settlement conference with the United States Securities and Exchange Commission to resolve the matter. This assumption emerged after Chief Legal Officer Stuart Alderoty and Chief Executive Officer Brad Garlinghouse were observed in New York. Increased speculation regarding a settlement in the XRP lawsuit. An individual who is a member of the XRP community and goes by the name Boba Fett on X has asserted that they witnessed Garlinghouse and Alderoty in front of the federal courtroom in New York earlier today. Boba Fett stated that the executives might have come at the location to engage in negotiations with the United States Securities and Exchange's thought on the settlement of the XRP case. Eleanor Terrett, a reporter for Fox Business, noted that court listener had previously indicated that a settlement conference was planned to take place on March 29. This is even though various organizations like John Datton's Crypto Law are attempting to verify the accuracy of this information. The information that has been provided is not intended to be trading advice. There is no responsibility for any investments that are made based on the information that is provided on this page. Before making any decision about investments, we strongly advise conducting independent research and consulting with a knowledgeable professional.